So yesterday I explained what sort of pedals you should get. So if you went for the SPDSLs, here I'm going to show you how to adjust them. So you're going to need a Allen key, kind of like the one I've got here in a multi-tool. They're just in a generic one. And here at the bottom of the pedal there's a little hole, and it has inside it a screw. So you got to use your Allen key and get it in there. Now you twist anti-clockwise to loosen it, whereas you twist clockwise to tighten it. You got to mess around a bit with tightening it and loosening it to make sure that you get the right strength. Make sure you ride it each time before you go out on a proper ride to make sure you can unclip and clip in correctly. So with mine, I've got mine on a fairly firm setting, so I twisted it clockwise a bit. I did. That allows me to be really secure in the pedals, so make sure you experiment a bit. So this is more of a road bike cleat here. This goes with the SPDSLs, and it goes on a shoe kind of like this. If you notice, you have three main holes for screws, as these get screwed in three places. So the way that you screw them in is you get your shoe and you align the cleat up to the holes, and you get these little things here, and you place them in each of the holes, Now, by doing that, it stops the screw from damaging the cleat. It does. It acts kind of like a washer. And so I put the screw in the gap. Now, you're going to want to have an Allen key of some sort. Now, I always prefer to doing the top screw first, I do, since then it holds in the bottom two nicely. And also, don't do it up fully tight, since if you do it up slightly, it allows you to move this. Some people prefer the pedal more on their balls of their feet, some prefer it more on their flat foot. I like mine in the centre roughly, and so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten up this all the way now that I've found where I want it. So make sure you do play around with it, because obviously if you don't, you won't get the right place for your pedals. So now I want to go put in one of the other screws. Now I personally went for the yellow cleats with these. The cleats don't actually come with the pedals because, as I said in the last video, there are three different types of cleats, each with different degrees of flow. Now, so you've got to buy these separately. Now, what I do once I've clipped it in is, with the cleats, I make sure I go round on my bike and just check I can clip in and out easily. So if not, make sure you slightly adjust this if this is in the wrong place. If not, loosen or tighten the pedal slightly. So that is how you put on the cleat. So here I have the SPD50, the mountain bike pedal. Now the way you adjust these is the same way that you adjust the SPDSLs, but you've got to use a slightly larger Allen key. Here is the hole that you put the Allen key in, and again it's anti-clockwise to loosen it and clockwise to tighten it. With this, I personally like mine very loose, since when mountain biking I can unclip my feet in case of any crash really easily. So here I have the mountain bike shoe. This is what the cleat looks like. I'm actually unable to get mine off to show you how you do it, but it's basically the same as how you do a road bike cleat. You have 2 screws though. You put both of them in loosely and you can adjust again how high or low you want it. I personally like mine quite low because it gives me more control on the bike. The cleats are much smaller on this compared to a road bike one, and they give you a bit less power but more control. So after you've figured out how high or low you want them, that's when you go through with the Allen key again and tighten them. So that's how you adjust a cleat for a mountain bike pedal.